Hey, boss.
Hello, Jeremy. What can I do for you?
All right, I know it isn't any of my business, but is everything all right between you and Rags at the moment?
Yeah, we're doing just fine. Why? What's up?
Well, I just couldn't help but notice that Rags hasn't really been acting like themselves as of late.
In what way exactly?
Eh, just seems like they've been a little down in the dumps recently. Like there's something else on their mind aside from work.
Hmm. Well, where are they right now? Maybe I can see if there's something I can do to help.
They headed up towards the roof about 15 minutes ago.
I'm sorry. They went where?
Relax, big guy. Sally says they just like to hang out up there to stargaze. Get some peace and quiet and some fresh air, you know? You ought to try it sometime.
Well, for your own sake, that had better be all that they're doing up there. Rex? There you are.
That purple bastard went and snitched on me, didn't he?
Yes, I'm afraid he did. What are you doing up here all by yourself?
Just watching the stars.
Hmm? Hey, I didn't realize there was a meteor shower going on tonight.
It's not a meteor shower. Those are falling stars.
Huh. And that means what exactly?
Eh, all it means is that a ragdoll's going to be welcoming a new member into their family tonight.
Huh. I see. Hey, what's wrong?
Nothing. I'm fine.
Come on, babe, you know that's not going to work on me. What's the matter?
It's just... lately, I've been thinking. Have you ever thought about having kids again?
What?
I get it. I mean, I understand it if you're not exactly eager to try your hand at parenting again after what happened to Ophelia. But it'd be nice, you know? I think you'd make a wonderful father.
I don't know. I mean, I don't exactly have the greatest track record when it comes to kids. It's not just what happened with Ophelia. You know, there are 12 families out there whose lives have been shattered because of me. How would it look if the people of the neighborhood found out that the Midnight Maniac became a father and started raising children of his own? I know if it were me, I'd be furious.
Babe, all things considered, can you honestly say you'd ever willingly harm a child?
I... No, of course not.
Would you ever forfeit a child's well-being for the sake of work or an experiment?
No.
Then, maybe that's also something we need to take into consideration. I know being under its influence caused you to do terrible things, but I know for a fact that the Walden darling that I married would never, even if his life depended on it.
So the stars, what exactly do they have to do with it?
Oh, you don't want to go that route. Trust me on that. I'm not entirely sure if it'd even work.
Oh, really? Do tell.
Well, when two ragdolls love each other very much,
Oh, stop.
it's a bit of a process. Basically, it requires both parents to cut a heart-shaped piece out of their own bodies. The two pieces are stitched together, and then the parents wait for a falling star to choose them and take form.
What the fuck?
Yeah, gives a completely new meaning to the phrase cut from the same cloth, doesn't it? It's an extremely drawn-out process, one that can take weeks, months, even years. I mean, every ragdoll that's become a parent over at Cross Stitch says that it's well worth it in the end. But I don't think you want to be waiting up on this roof for years. Plus, creating my half of the heart would only require me to get a new patch. You, on the other hand, would probably require an appointment with Poppy.
Well, there is always a neighborhood orphanage. Always kids in need of a home over there. I'm sure we'll be able to find one that'll fit right in with this weird, dysfunctional family we've got in this facility.
You already know Poppy and Sally are going to volunteer themselves for babysitting duty, right?
And Howdy and Eddie, Frank. Eh, we might be able to get them on board with the idea. Who knows?
What about Wallace and Mordecai? Do you want them to be involved at all?
Heh. Well, knowing my Uncle Mordecai, he'd probably raise them to be a full-fledged mobster. And Dad... Well, he wasn't really a part of Ophelia's life, but that's mostly because I did my best to ensure that he wasn't. Especially after the truth about what really happened to my mom came out. I know he's been doing more to try to be better recently, but I don't know.
Supervised visits?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, Mr. and Mrs. Darling, is that right?
Well, technically that would be Muck's darling.
Right. Well, your paperwork appears to be in order. There's just a few questions that I need to ask the both of you before we proceed.
Of course.
So, you've listed your place of residence as the Rainbow Factory, is that correct?
Correct. The factory has apartment-like living accommodations for all its employees. Rags and I each have our own unit, but we've been sharing the same unit for around 2.5 years now.
Right. And I'm assuming that you both work inside of the Rainbow Factory.
That's right. He's the facilities manager, and I'm the assistant.
All right. And you do have arrangements in place for childcare in the event that you both need to tend to your jobs, correct?
Huh. More than we know what to do with, you could say. All the contacts listed are people we're both close with and know very well. We even have a schedule arranged to work out who looks after them on what day. And I've worked out days off for the both of us so that we might have time to take care of and properly bond with them too.
Okay. And have either of you had or adopted a child in the past?
Uh, well, I did have a daughter at one time. Adopted. She passed unexpectedly due to a seizure. She's been gone for about a decade now.
You know, ordinarily, that would be immediate grounds for rejection based on that alone. But I think my boss would fire me on the spot if I were to turn down a prominent member of the Darling family. And that was some time ago. I trust you've managed to learn and grow from that experience.
Absolutely.
And the fact that your spouse is a ragdoll certainly gives you a leg up in that aspect. So, what exactly did the two of you have in mind? Puppet, ragdoll, boy, girl, infant, toddler, adolescent? What are you picturing here?
Well, this one here has their heart set on adopting an infant. That way the factory setting won't be too much of a shock to them. Puppet, rag doll, boy, girl, doesn't really matter to us. Whichever one manages to win us over.
If it helps, Walden is part caracal, so he does have a few cat-like behaviors, like purring, kneading, shedding when the weather warms up.
You know what? I think I've got the perfect child in mind for the two of you. Let me see if I can track down his file. He was brought to us about 2 weeks ago. Tragic story, that one. His parents' vehicle wound up being struck by a drunk driver. Everyone that was involved in the crash was pronounced dead at the scene. Fortunately, the child was being cared for by one of his parents' neighbors at the time. But they couldn't look after him long term, and with no other relatives or loved ones left that could take him in, he was eventually brought to us.
That's awful.
Poor kid.
His name is Leon. He was born July 27th, so he's just a little over a month old now. They got real creative with the name. His mom was a snow leopard and his dad was a lion, both puppets. So, leopard and a lion, Leon, get it?
Ah, ha ha ha. I get it.
It still sounds like a good name. What else are you able to tell us about him?
Well, you can be a bit fussy, I know that. But I think it's simply due to the fact that he just wants adequate love and attention, and not have to split it up amongst 10 or so other babies. You think you're up for the task?
Could we see him?
Of course. If the two of you will just follow me over to the nursery, and the two of you can decide for yourself if you think he's going to be the right fit for you.
All right.
Let's see. He should be in this crib, right over here. Luckily for us, it's his nap time right now.
Aw, look at the little guy. He's so cute.
Would you like to hold him?
May I?
Be my guest.
Oh, sorry I woke you up, little man. Oh, Walden. He is absolutely precious.
Look at all that hair. Little guy's going to have one serious mane when he gets older. And those paws? Damn, he might grow up to be taller than me.
Look at his eyes, babe. Blue. Hello, little one.
Well, that's true love if I've ever seen it. So, what do you think? Do the two of you need some time to think and talk things over? Or do you feel like he's the one?
I think you're gonna have a pretty hard time getting rid of us if we don't take this one home. I think our minds are made up.
All right, then. If the two of you want to meet me at my desk, there's just a few more forms I'll need you to fill out, and my assistant and I will round up Leon's things for you.
Sounds good.
Come on. Come on, what's taking them so long?
Sally, you know pacing in front of the entrance isn't going to make them return from the orphanage any faster.
Not to mention, there's no guarantee that they'll even bring a child back with them.
Nope. Nope, I will not be taking either of your guys' negative Nancy, Debbie Downer, Sandra Sourpuss attitude right now. I just know they're going to come back with a baby. I just know it.
Sandra Sourpuss. That's a new one.
Oh, I heard a car door. They must be back.
Finally. Now, please let there be a baby.
Jesus Christ. I didn't realize we were missed.
Have you guys been waiting by the entryway this whole time?
Well, Sally was, at least.
I see a bundle. So,
Everyone, allow me to introduce you all to our son, Leon Darling.
oh, oh my gosh, you guys. He's perfect. Hi, I'm your Auntie Sally. Oh, you are going to be so spoiled.
Give 'em some space, Sals. I mean, Wally and Raggs just got back. I'm sure they're going to want a little privacy to bond with Leon and get him settled in.
Oh, all right.
Get used to it, kiddo. This is going to be your life from here on out. Welcome to the Rainbow Factory, son.